When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport, and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome. Thank you for getting your pod on. Thanks for checking out the website, BillMoranProductions.com. There's pictures up there. Laura will be up there later. Not in a
send me soliciting.
not in the website. No. Do you want soliciting photos? Is that what you want? Is that where we're going? Is that what it is?
Why not? You're gonna get fan emails.
No. And you can email right through there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just
Convenient.
It's been weird for me because I don't know anything about anything. I'll give you a little behind the scenes. Like I don't know Photoshop well. I don't know any. I own it all.
Yeah.
I just
Yep.
So I had a logo that I had created for another podcast that I was doing, and somebody wrote me an email through the website and said, "Is it Bill Lightenment or Bill Lightment? Because you have it two different ways."
Oh.
And I look at the logo and I went, "Oh man." So I took like 40 minutes and fiddled around with it and got it fixed.
Got it to where you want
yeah,
it.
got
Are you doing like Canva or?
I pay for
Okay.
Canva,
Yep.
but this was through my Photoshop on Adobe.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm learning all this stuff. It's like,
It's one thing that I don't do my website. I don't do anything. I pay to have that done.
who do you pay? Like GoDaddy or somebody?
My website is through.
By the way, great name. GoDaddy.
Yeah. I mean, my website's through Wix, but then it's like run through GoDaddy, or I built my website through Wix. GoDaddy is like where I
And
have
you have
it,
their
yeah.
experts work on it for you?
No, I have my like my branding coach.
You have a branding coach?
Yeah, like a business coach who does all my branding and stuff.
Really?
She edits my website for me and stuff like that. It's one thing I don't know how to do.
I like
get
knowing
so
how to do this
frustrated.
stuff, but here's what I'm starting to realize. If you want to be successful, you have to have people that focus on the little stuff, and you got to keep looking big picture.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to, and I just do things. It takes me.
Half-assed.
Well, not necessarily half-assed. I mean, I've been able to make this work,
Yeah.
but it could be so much more than it is.
Uh-huh.
And so that's where we're headed.
I mean, and I know we've talked about social media and how much you don't really enjoy making the reels and editing and everything because it's so much work.
It is like
I do
today.
not
Oh, that's
post on
another
social
thing.
media
I
for
tried
my
to-
business.
I tried to do a cute story on Instagram today where you have a picture background and then you have the story, your reel up
Mhm.
here, and people can click to go to your reel, but it's over in the corner. I don't fucking know. It took me like an hour. And I go, yeah, I'm an idiot. But I like this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be able to say to somebody, hey, man, you do this. I'm going to go over here and work on this, this, and this. And that's where we're headed,
Mhm.
clearly. But it takes it's taken a minute. I don't know. But the website's up, Bill Moran Productions, and we'll get everybody's picture up there and a little bit
Congratulations.
here and there.
Meet
and-
the cast.
Oh, by the way, it's only been that I paid for this for over a year. I have just
Okay.
done nothing with it.
Yeah.
Nothing with it. Because
Oh,
I'm
yeah?
like, yeah, because I go, not that I was going, I don't have the time or I don't know how or whatever it was. So I decided now, I'm just like, screw it. I got to do this.
Yeah.
I got to do this.
I remember when I started my business, I tried to look into buying polished.com.
Mm.
$40,000 is
Whoa.
what they wanted for the domain.
Really?
So, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
How's it organizing business? I mean, the weather's been not fun.
No. I said my drive, I was texting Kevin on Monday because he asked if I could come in. I was like, my drive to Pulteneyville took about 43 minutes.
You were in
I
Pulteneyville?
was in Pulteneyville on Monday.
I just saw a thing that more the Mohawk Valley, but even up in the Adirondacks, I think Tug Hill, which a lot of people go. I think our friend Mike Mack,
Mhm.
his place is up.
Okay.
He has property up in the Adirondacks, and I think it's near Tug Hill.
Yeah.
And they already had 6 feet of snow this winter,
Okay.
and they're supposed to get an additional 3 this weekend
Oh
or
my God.
these next couple
3
days.
in one weekend?
I think in the next couple days. Yeah. It said, yep. let me see here, because I saw this today. I go, this is crazy. I mean, it would be depressing to me, because it would feel like it never. Yeah, residents urge no travel due to hazard conditions, and certain bands of snow can produce up to 3 inches of accumulation an hour, paired with blizzard-like winds to create total whiteout across central New York. Let's see. Areas of Tug Hill. Oh, here's what it is. Slated to see another 3 feet of snow. There's only about 350 people in the Tug Hill area. They're already buried under 25 feet of snow this winter. This winter. And that's like old school shit, because we haven't had winters like that in forever.
Yeah.
And I thought they were still predicting, because I talked to Mac. He's got his place up there and he likes to go up and run the sleds.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, man, I don't know. We're supposed to warm up. They're talking about a warm stretch. We'll probably have a bunch of mud. Now you got 25 fucking feet of snow.
I mean,
but that's got to, you're still finding patches of it when you go hiking in May.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
That's never going to go down. I can't believe, how much snow we've gotten, and it just has not stopped here.
No, has not. And
I canceled my plow contracts last year.
You did?
Yeah, because they only came 4 times.
Right, there's nothing coming. Now you got Joe.
I know.
Joe's.
You told me you weren't going to put me on camera.
I had to put you on camera. I said to you, sit there. I won't put you on. I did say I won't put you on camera. Okay. I did say
that.
Well, here, look.
He's a pretty man. You can put him on.
He doesn't want it. Well, no, we don't have to have it on him. But does he go out and shovel and salt and do all that stuff?
I am a shoveling connoisseur. As soon as the snow hits the ground, I'm like the guy from A Christmas Story who wants to fix the furnace.
Nonstop.
The snow hits the ground, I'm out there. I'm shoveling.
Really?
So, oh yeah, I love shoveling. I don't know why. I really don't know why.
Like, we have gotten home at 10:30 at night from something, and at 11 o'clock, he's like, "I'm gonna go shovel."
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know why.
Oh.
My neighbors call him the shovel fairy. They're like, "Does the shovel fairy want to come visit our house?"
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds like a really it's like a fantasy. The shovel fairy. It's a different kind of fantasy. It's like an adult fantasy now. God, I wish the shovel fairy would put on that outfit, Joe, and come on over.
I shoveled yesterday for the first time this winter, because I got home early and he had a long day, and so, or I knew he wasn't getting home until late, so I shoveled, and I was like, God.
Did Joe dress up as the shovel fairy for Valentine's Day?
No.
Laura hates Valentine's Day.
I do.
Oh. So are you off the hook completely then for Valentine's Day?
I am off the hook completely.
But what did you do? You did something.
I just wrote a cheesy Facebook post.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
I hate it. I do Valentine's Day. I only started doing it the past few years because my kids.
Oh, the kids.
So Friday morning, I tied little Valentine's balloons to their chairs. In the morning, I made them red pancakes, whipped cream.
That's really cute.
Yeah. A few little, like a chocolate bar, and then the newest prime drink. That's what they got for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
But no, I think it's really corny.
Yeah, but what about
for adults?
All right, we were talking about this last night. What if you got sex toys for Valentine's Day?
I mean, that's fine, but why can't you give me sex toys on the other 363 days out of the year?
Because it's February and there's a lot of snow on the ground. It just seems to make sense.
I mean, yeah, so give them to me for Christmas. So then that helps those cold months go quicker.
Okay, all right. Joe, you taking notes over there, buddy? You should be taking notes. You should take some notes over there.
That's right.
What did you do with the kids all week? Because I haven't had my guy all week because he's been down with his mom.
Oh, he went and saw his mom.
Yeah, so that's where.
So how's Damien?
I haven't been there once. I know. I something has happened. I'll tell you my weird. I feel like I'm right on the cusp of getting everything where I need it to be. Yeah. And I have not gone. I was here and then I would go home. Now we started doing a condensed version of the podcast, so you get the full version, or you can have the condensed version, which is somewhere between 25, 40 minutes of this, kind of the highlights.
It's like choose your own adventure.
Well, it is sort of. I mean, you get the gist of stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of fluff in there, right, that we can cut out. So doing that, and then a whole bunch of writing, getting the website up. I've got this TV pitch I need to get done. I'm looking for places for me and Jameson. It's been nonstop. So I have not gone over there once, and it's been 2 for 1 week. Oh. But I have not gone.
Good
And
job.
I was thinking of going. I was like, I could go tonight because we're doing it earlier, the
Yeah,
podcast.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, nah, I gotta go home.
Oh.
I gotta go home because I want to start. Like, there's just a lot. I have unfortunately stuck my head in the sand for a couple years.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of, just sort of like drifted. And now I feel like I've got a little bit more of a direction, and I gotta get myself out of this shit.
Understandable.
And it's weird because you're right. I would love to go over there and play. And, and I even thought about it. I go, I can't. Here's the problem, because I had a conversation with a professional and they said, well, why won't you go out? And I go, I don't know. And they're like,
slippery slope.
Yeah. And I said, they go, you can't trust yourself. You need to prove to yourself that you can go and just have one or two. And I go, I can't. I'm not there.
Yeah.
I mean, I can anywhere else, but I can't there, especially if they're around. I love hanging out with those guys.
It's like your Cheers show. Like, everybody knows your name. You
Well,
walk in.
It's not that. It's because I walked in there about a week and a half ago, and I knew nobody in there. Like, I didn't recognize anybody. Like, none of my buddies were there. So I slipped into the bathroom and then slipped out the door. Because I didn't want to get. I mean, some of the bar workers would know me, but I didn't. So I was like, I go, that's a sign. I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So then, but my problem isn't that I can't stop. That's not it. I can, because I'll have a glass of wine at home and I don't need to keep drinking. But when I'm in that environment and we're having fun, and what happens is it's like time travel for me. The next thing I know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? But I've had so much fun, and you were going to leave. You even said, I'm going to leave. And all of a sudden, magically, I mean, you've got the driveway shovel ferry. What is he called?
The shovel ferry.
The shovel ferry.
You have the beer ferry?
No, I got the Guinness ferry. The Guinness ferry. We used to have that in our neighborhood. We used to leave like cases of Guinness on.
Really?
Me and my neighbor would leave cases of Guinness on each other's steps once in a
fun.
while. It was the Guinness ferry. But so I just know that I can't do that. So I have not been out. And then I'm like, there's certain goals I want to get to. And I'll be back out by St. Patrick's Day.
I mean, it's another month. That's a great
all it is.
goal.
That's it. I got a month. I got a month. I got to pull my shit together.
I know.
I got a lot of shit I got to pull together.
He said last night to me, he's like, you haven't been drinking wine at home as much. I was like, I'm really trying to cut down during the week.
Why I noticed? Because you're not as wild at night.
Maybe.
No.
Yes. Right? You're a little calmer. You're like, I got to go to bed. I feel like I'm trying to not drink when I'm alone. And a lot of times I'm alone at night, even if the kids go to bed. He's not home until normally 9:30. But because it's break week, he's getting home around 6. So he's like, where's your drink? Look at this. All right. So how can I ask I don't know how
you can ask anything.
Well, I can ask you anything.
Yeah, you can.
We've already established that. I don't know how comfortable Joe would be, and it's not a dirty question. It's not. It's just like you're coming home and
you can put him on camera. He's not afraid.
Your life in a very, very short period of time went from every mess that was made was yours,
right,
to now there's 2 kids. There's all this stuff, and you just seem to embrace it. Like, dude, you really like it.
I don't know. I've always been a clean freak at home when I lived by myself. I've made a couple comments to Laura, and I'm trying to get the kids to pick up after themselves, but
they're kids.
Yeah,
they're
kids,
what I mean?
and it's not too messy, so I can't complain. What's a half hour picking up around the house?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's a big switch.
Yeah,
right.
From nobody only had to worry about himself.
Yeah, only you to now. I mean, I see the pictures. You're like a jungle gym for them.
Oh yeah,
they're on your shoulder. Somebody's hanging off your arm.
Yeah, this is true. But I mean, I've worked with kids for the last 15 years, so
okay. So that makes it all pretty easy.
Yep.
All right. Oh, very good. We'll take a moment. Laura, I found some stats. And we'll ask you, and I hope it doesn't get too bad, but it was a survey from Bloom.
Okay.
An erotic audio platform.
Oh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
It's called Bloom. If anybody wants to go check it out, I'm sure they have dirty novels and things that you can listen to, book on tape. And it's got some surprising insight into women's porn preferences. and we will see if you agree. Is that fair?
Oh yeah.
This is gonna be funny.
I wasn't sure.
This is gonna be
Since she
funny.
got quiet, I was like, wait a second. Maybe would have been a bridge
I've
too
never
far.
heard of Bloom. Like,
Yeah. Bloom. Yep.
Okay.
Check it out. We'll get to all that right after this. Laura's being a test bunny on the website.
You have like a chat bot. I like it.
Yeah, the chat bot pops up.
Yeah. Please enter your question and don't leave out any details. This will help get your question fully answered as soon as possible.
Wow.
See, what's the question? Who's the blonde?
Yeah. That's really funny. Well, so like go through there because I'm curious. I was thinking like, I was trying to give each podcast its own page because I don't want to get too confusing. But then I'm like, should I do Billified audio, Billified video, Billified clips? Do I keep it all together? Yeah. These are all the things that have been running through my head, and I haven't been able. I'm figuring it out. I'm also figuring out, and you'll know. Oh, look at this! I have a question, Laura. I just got it.
You got it?
Yeah.
So it came through.
It comes
through.
Cool. It forwards to my other email because I don't know.
Okay.
But even that took me a while today, Joe, to figure that out and set that up. But so I'm trying to do it as user friendly. I'm not sure I like the cover page exactly, but we'll see. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it needs something that more to grab you in some way. Almost what I'd like to do is like an intro video.
Oh yeah.
Hey, welcome.
Good. Yeah,
welcome from come by and then showing you clips.
More interactive of a website.
Yeah.
Okay.
That kind of thing. So it would be like, hey, thanks for stopping by. Here's some of the things you can do and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And But again, I go, where am I going to get the fucking time for that?
I know. That's why sometimes you got to hire it out.
Sometimes you got to hire it out, or sometimes you just have to realize that while you're doing this, you just can't sleep. Not can't sleep, but you just got to work. You got to hustle.
I mean, they also like,
believe me, man, I laid on the couch for a
overcomplicate.
while. My gut shows it.
Don't overcomplicate your website either.
Well, I don't want to overcomplicate anything, but I'm starting to see, and as somebody who owns a business, has the 2 kids, right? And when you have the kids, you are the single mom. I know that Joe's on site now, but you know, a lot of the heavy lifting is still going to be you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm starting to realize, like, I can give an hour to this, but I get so involved. I go, I want to keep going, and then I fuck up everything else.
Yeah.
You know.
I know. Sometimes I have to break away from my computer and be like, stop doing emails, stop doing all the stuff.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
All right, Laura, here we go.
Okay.
The top 5 fantasies women want to see more of in porn.
Okay.
Let's see if you can get, like, I don't know. What ones would you think? Give me like the top 5. There's 5 of them.
Really? Trivia music?
Yeah. Because would you like porn music?
Yeah. I feel like you need a different type of audio, like seduce me music.
Seduce you music.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Well, while you're thinking of that, I will pull up some seduce me music.
Okay. All right. So the top 5 that there needs to be more of.
Yeah. More that women want to see more of. Top 5 in porn that women want to see more of. I would say this is according to the Bloom website, the Bloom platform.
I'm gonna say older women with younger men.
Oh, really?
Like being seduced by a young man.
Okay. That's very specific, but I think that would fall under what 52% of women are calling romantic sex.
Okay.
Right? Being kind of romanticized.
Yeah.
But older women, younger guy.
Yeah, that's what because I think you have vice versa a lot of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched Pure Taboo, which is usually like a couple seducing a young girl.
Oh, okay.
Teaching her their wily
Getting
ways.
The unicorn.
Who's the no? Yeah.
Okay.
She becomes a unicorn. Laura. What else you got?
Okay. Damsel in distress.
Oh, damsel in distress. Okay.
Is that on there?
No. See, you're going specific. Think of like what acts they'd like to see more.
I have.
All right, let's see what you got, Joe.
I think it's got to be like dad bods.
Oh, dad bods.
Talking about dad bods.
Okay.
Says
normal guys. Well, you're always talking about 2 guys that are too small and too skinny. So.
Oh yeah, I don't like skinny men at all. Is that on there?
No.
Regular dad
so
bods?
Here's what women want to see more of.
Man.
77% of women said they would like to see more threesomes in porn. And they don't give you specifically like what kind of threesome.
Yeah.
Right? Would it be 2 girls and a guy, 2 guys and a girl? Doesn't say. Women receiving more oral sex.
Okay.
54% would like to see that in porn.
Okay.
Romantic.
I think they just want that more in life. I mean, seriously.
If I can't get it there, I'll get it in my fantasies. What are you going to do? Romantic sex comes in at 52%. Rough sex comes in at 52%.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Domination.
Oh, done.
Really?
Yeah.
Domination.
You're looking at me.
I'm looking at you, Joe.
How do we turn
I'm
this
looking at you.
All right, so I guess I can expose myself, whatever.
Yeah.
So Laura likes to be slapped around and everything else.
Yeah.
I'm not that type of guy. Like one time I slapped her and I just start laughing my ass off because I'm like, what the hell am I doing? This is awkward. And she just starts looking at me like, what? I mean, every now and then.
Wait.
He gave me a black eye, by the way.
I did give her a black eye.
Time by accident.
What?
He just like did that.
Oh, you
and,
like your face slapped?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And choked and all that. But then the other day we had like midday sex and he went to do that. I was like, you can't do that in the middle of the day. Like
It's got to be dark out,
pure
Joe.
nighttime.
Yo, I'm with you, buddy. I wouldn't know either.
What do you want?
What do you want?
Not this type.
What am I supposed to do here?
Just beat you having sex.
So rough sex.
Oh yeah, love it.
Do you like cuffs and how about like Like if somebody got a leather.
Oh, we've talked about that. We don't have
sex
one.
room
What?
show
But
that
No.
we're watching? What was that sex room show? That
Yeah,
we're watching? The girl
the-
always had that whip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
don't
not
have one.
not a whip, but like this was like
It was
a.
a flogger.
Yeah,
Was that-
flogger.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so good, man. You're so in. You're so on this. You're so
Now
on this.
accepting floggers.
Yes.
We watched this
Um,
old lady sex show for
yeah.
like 8 episodes, and all it was.
What's
was
the old
this-
lady sex show? I
It
don't
was
know.
called How to Build a Sex Room, and it's like a
What is it on the DIY channel at
I
night?
think it was on Netflix.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
called How to Build a Sex Room?
Yes,
Oh, it's
and
hilarious.
it was amazing because like it was everything from like a married couple to like a group orgy that like she built like a house
Uh-huh.
for them to have their sex parties.
Man,
It was amazing.
they got to air that place out when it's done.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, there were some really creepy looking people on it too.
According to this, there are experts like Dr. Nazim Moali and sexologist Nicolette Heidegger offer some context for these results, suggesting that these fantasies empower women to overcome societal shame and take control of their desire.
Yeah.
But they seem very generic. Like I liked your specific.
Yeah, that's
know?
what I was thinking more. It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they want this
Yeah.
sort of
Threesomes may help
Genre.
women feel desirable and proficient because they always got to be doing something, taking care of somebody.
so desirable. Then it has to be two
Two
men,
men, I got to
one
think.
woman.
Yeah.
To me, that just
No?
no. I
No.
don't
She wants to
think-
get punched in the face, but she can't watch 2 guys messing around with one girl. That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, I could watch it. It's just that I like. I don't
see
know.
it.
I guess if all the attention was on me, like, but you know, you think about in threesome, like, are they gonna be touching each? I don't want that. I mean, yeah.
Oh, wow. Here you go. Well, it's weird because women in same-sex relationships tend to act on and enjoy group sex fantasies more than straight women.
Obviously,
Yeah, I would think
Like,
that is obvious too.
yeah.
Yeah.
If think about it, if you and your partner both like the same sex, then you're going to be more willing to bring in another one of that
Look,
same sex.
You would be younger person, right? And I mean, I don't even know how old you are. 39?
39.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but of that age, right? Independent. Are women more open to talk about sexual fantasies now than they were?
I think so.
Yeah. Like I would compare it to, how old's your sister? Similar age to you?
42.
Okay. So she's too close. But your mom probably didn't feel like, I don't know if she even discussed it
No.
with her friends.
I remember my mom telling me that sex gets better once you turn 40. Like,
Well, I think there's a reason why.
you're
You don't give a shit.
inhibitions.
Yeah,
Like
you're just going for it. Yeah.
Like you open.
See-
you're more about like, this is what I like in bed. This is
Yeah.
what I would like to try. And I do think that people are getting more open into those things. Like you hear the conversation.
Well, older though, and more confident, a little more experienced.
yeah,
you know what
not
I mean?
like
Yeah, not
20-year-olds.
ashamed of your body, even. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be with Joe at first, but I'm afraid that if I would get so into the slapping, spitting, punching, choking that I would lose my head. I would have an out of body experience. I swear to
He's
God.
like
Speechless
this.
right
He's
now. I
a
don't
big
know.
guy, but he's so like gentle.
Yes,
he's
he
like,
does-
I
he
just, I
does-
know.
Yeah. I'm no comment. I got nothing to say. All
Wow.
I know is it's very awkward. She just pulled my hair, slapped me. You know, I sneak it in here and there, but like, yeah, it was just weird.
She gives you an instruction manual at least.
Yeah.
You're not
Pretty
guessing.
much.
You're not
Yeah.
guessing. You're not
I
guessing.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, but that's exciting, right? It keeps it
I just
exciting.
don't like the exact same thing every time.
Yeah, some not. You don't get into a routine, so like, no.
Not currently.
Yeah, I don't think it's a routine.
I don't
No.
mean like a routine,
No.
but like,
no, but
you know,
like I feel
you're
like
on top, then I'm behind.
okay. So
and
hold on. So I will say, obviously, I slept with.
Oh, slapped ass is a happy.
Unrelaxed ass, it's an unhappy ass.
This is porn.
A slapped ass is a happy ass.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'll
Now
say
Joe's
in a-
got. Does Joe have big hands? Big hands, Joe.
Oh, do I got big
Yeah,
hands?
he's got big hands.
Big hands, I guess.
It was leaving a big handprint on here.
Oh, I did leave a handprint on
Oh
your
yeah,
ass that
I
one
get
day.
lots of handprints.
Yeah. You woke up the next morning, you had a handprint on your ass.
I like handprints. I like bruises, bite marks. Like
Whoa! The biting stuff. Yeah. I gotta draw the line there. Holy crap, dude.
But like, I will say, like, earmuffs. My ex-husband, it was the same 1, 2, 3 every time.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that is even when I would say like I need something more. Like we need to switch up. That's why we ended up not having sex anymore.
All right, well.
It was so boring.
Those are the old days.
I know.
Those are the old days.
I know.
Now you're back and living.
Oh, yeah.
You would even film yourself, wouldn't you?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not with me. No, it wasn't me.
No.
It was not me.
Yeah, but would you?
I don't think you
But
would let us.
I don't have any interest.
Yeah,
in
I don't
that.
think you would
No,
let
but
us.
you wouldn't go back and break down the tape later on?
I mean, Bill, if I was swinging a 12-inch dick, I would film it in a heartbeat.
Yes,
because
yes,
I'd be
yes.
famous
I
and
hear
everything
you,
would
I
be
hear
good,
you.
but
I hear you, but
nah, not doing
this
that.
stuff isn't going to get out anywhere. It's just for you guys. I used to
I don't know,
love.
he has said like I'm never going to send you a. He's never going to send me a dick pic. He's never going to do anything like
Laura's
that.
fantasy is for me to jerk off so she can see a cum shot. That's
Whoa! Jesus.
That's what she, I'm
Christ.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Oh,
Laura,
The other
Laura
day,
can orgasm watching me have a cum shot.
wow.
That's how bad it is.
Wow.
After I punch her in the face.
That's called love, folks. Happy Valentine's Day. Holy God, Laura. This is okay.
I do. I have some weird obsessions.
Okay,
I have some weird fetishes.
All right.
But
But-
yeah, the other day, like I sent him a nude from upstairs. I was like, "Come warm me up," and you hear him up the stairs.
I'd be running. I'd be like, yeah, I'd be running.
Yep.
That's a okay. The filming thing reminded me. There was a joke that Sam Kennison used to do. Some girl talked him into filming sex. I think this is the joke, and he goes, "Why would I want to watch that? It looks like it looks like she's being raped by a polar bear." I always love that line. I just love that line because I go it's one of these things. Like I always say when you'll see guys get in bar fights, right, and you'll hear them bragging. You never look as good as you think you do.
Yeah. Oh God.
You're like
yeah.
in a bar fight, every swinging wide, they're all over the place. You see, right? And I don't know why that's my analogy, but I would say the same thing for you. Never
Yeah.
look as good as you think you look.
Yeah.
You know, maybe she does. I don't know, but I would think most guys.
No.
Yeah. No.
No. I mean, I
We
think
need a
it's like,
3-camera shoot.
it's like hot to know that it exists.
Yeah.
For the two of you, but it's not like I'm gonna go back.
Well,
and,
that's
like,
what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
hot, right? Exactly. But Joe is an athlete. He's a referee for football at the collegiate level. He's used to breaking down film. I'm just saying.
Hold on, can we replay that? What is that?
I think I should just put a camera up and not record, and then you think that we're recording.
Oh,
Oh,
I would be like
I think
She
that's the
put-
cheat code.
angle.
Laura would be putting on a show.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And then you would be like, God damn it, I wish I actually recorded that to watch that go down.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a large white male. I'm going to go with the polar bear phrase.
That's what I would say
Dude,
too.
I'm going to be a polar bear.
All right, we'll take a moment. Since Joe's here and he was a referee, I have to bring up one of the controversial things from football and how hard that is and how much we don't appreciate, I don't think, fully what refs have to deal with and how quick that game is. And compensation. Did they get enough? I'll tell you about it. We'll get to that right after this. You can comment if you're watching live on Facebook or YouTube, and we can feature your comment, like our friend Vinny, who wrote.
God. What does Vinny have to say about me today?
Wait, is this
well-
the funny guy with the crazy story?
Yes, that you
yes.
love. Joe wants to meet Vinny.
Vinny was hilarious.
Vinny said, "Where is Danny when you need him?" Trick question. You don't, but he's crying in his Bible. Or then he says, "Oh ho, all hands! The pirate ship is sailing full speed." Gagging throats of passion. The throats of passion. I wonder if that is a porn. The throats of
Oh.
passion. Yeah. And then he says, "Whip out your tits, fat boy." Meaning me. Meaning me. That's what he meant. That's what he's talking about. That's right. We can feature your comments as well if you'd like to do that. Are you traveling anywhere in the near future?
Yeah, we're going to Charlotte in like a month.
Are you
So-
nervous?
No.
To fly?
No. I
No.
It's rare that I feel like there's
It is
getting
rare.
a lot of news about the small little things too. The DC flight, that yes, there had been no like American flights crashes
Right.
in so long. The small little flight that went down in
Philly?
Philly, like
Yeah.
that has happened more.
Yeah,
It's
it
just, but I feel like the DC caused this massive attention.
Right.
And then Trump like taking away some of the air marshals or traffic controllers.
Yeah.
Like it's just there's a lot of eyes on it right now. But whatever.
Yeah.
Flying is
I would
safe.
think that it's still the safest way to go. How many car accidents have we had today? I mean,
Yeah.
we're just talking about, I was talking to somebody about the weather we talked about earlier, the Tug Hill
Yeah.
area. And they said somebody was leaving Watertown and they rolled their car,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Hit black ice, rolled their car.
Yep.
So you have that, or you could end up upside down in Toronto. Everybody survived.
Everyone survived. And now they're
Everybody
getting
survived.
$30,000 per
$30,000 per person, which is about 6 times what the people who, when they landed on the Hudson, they got $5,000 each.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think like what one is worse. Now, granted, we're talking years later.
Yeah.
But I think upside down is scarier than landing on the water. Although landing on
So-
the water, you could be worried about sinking and your luggage and all that shit. I'm not sure.
I think that the Hudson, they knew that there was plane problems.
Yes.
Like, so you had more time to be scared.
Yeah.
Like
So that would be more money.
that, I think should have been.
Don't we
more
call that
money.
emotional
Like,
distress?
Yeah, you're terrified.
Suffering?
Where what was that? Delta upside down. Supposedly it like happened last minute. So
It
it's
did.
like you don't even.
Did you watch it come in?
have-
It was like the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
And I think it was pilot error. I think the pilot didn't lift the nose up enough
Okay.
from what I was reading.
So,
I
like-
know nothing about this, but people commenting
Yeah.
saying it would look like pilot error. Pilots talking. So I
Yeah.
would assume that that's true. But I got to tell you, I would expect to get nothing.
Oh, I would expect something.
You
for
would?
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
like a free flight?
Oh, more than
You know what
a
I'm saying?
free
Like I
flight,
wouldn't know.
like-
Yeah, I guess $30,000. What is it going to cost them? $2.2 million, which really isn't that
No.
big a deal at the corporate level
Yeah.
of their size. $30,000 is nice, and they're claiming it's not preventing anybody from filing a lawsuit. In
Really?
addition, yeah,
Mhm.
you're not. It's not as though, hey, you take this money and you can't file a lawsuit. They're not doing that.
Well, I think anyone who was injured should probably get more.
Yeah. Well, there were some
Medical
critical
bills
injuries.
and things like that. But if you weren't injured, fuck, I probably
I'm thinking I got
would
a
be
great
happy
story
with
and
$30,000.
I got a great story at $30,000. I'm telling that story. It is going to change from year to year to year till I'm
Yeah.
the one who is. I'm on the wing. The wing's on fire, and I'm helping old ladies out. I mean, that story's going to change
Yeah.
for years and years. But
Gives you some
$30,000.
street cred.
Yeah.
I mean, would I want to go through a traumatic experience for $30,000? Probably not.
No.
But do I think that it would soften the blow? For sure.
Yeah.
But I think landing on the Hudson, yes, that was, God, how many years ago
Yeah, but
was
that pilot made millions with his book.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
I
did.
know.
Yeah, and the
he got a
movie.
movie.
Tom Hanks played you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's true. He got a ton of money,
Yeah,
and
like
you
the-
got $5,000.
There's not going to be a movie about a plane landing and then flipping on its ass.
No.
There's
No.
not going to be a movie.
No.
Sorry.
But the other people didn't. I mean, that's a good point because the pilot makes all the money.
Right.
Sully did. We had somebody who was on that flight in the studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he said, like, they were putting you up in a hotel. They were trying to get you, over into Jersey because you're on that side of the river. And he goes, one guy's on the ferry and he's trying to book a flight for that night because he wants to just get home.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand that too.
I would think to myself, I totally would. I go,
yeah.
What are the chances of it happening again?
Mm-hmm.
None. Or I'm not going to say none. That's not true. But I would think in my head,
incredibly rare.
Minimally.
Yeah.
Right? Minimal to do that. I don't even know how you determine the value, though, of what somebody went through. Who has to sit down and come up with the number 30,000 per person?
I don't know.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's
an odd
to come with.
Yeah, it's a number. Well, they've been crunching this for a while. Probably went back and forth with lawyers. And don't tell me it's not to try to buy off lawsuits.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I would feel like I got a great story. I wasn't injured. A little bit of a scare. Okay, no big deal.
I mean, yeah.
That's all. That's the way I would look at it.
Are the 4 people that were critically injured?
They're not saying that they're getting any more money.
No,
are they out of the hospital?
Yeah, I haven't really followed up on anything.
I haven't either because the news cycle goes so fast, and we go, well, that's all right. Hey, hope you're doing well, buddy. And now you got $30,000, which it's really not all that much money when you think about it.
I think it's a good chunk.
No, it's a nice chunk to get. I'm not going to deny that, but when you could spend that.
You should also get free Delta flights forever.
Do you want them?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
If I get Joe, how much would I be gone if I could fly for free?
Oh yeah, every weekend.
Every weekend
you don't have the boys. Even with the boys, you'd probably be gone.
I love to be on the go.
Traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I the other day was looking.
Where's your favorite place to go?
I don't know if I
Love
have a
Island?
favorite place.
Joe? Love Island?
My bed.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a favorite place because I like to see new places all the time. Like,
Are you familiar with Charlotte?
No, never been.
Never been. That's a fun city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to.
Is it fun for adults or is it fun for kids?
No.
Because we went to Boston in the summer, and Boston felt like more of an adult town than with kids.
Yeah.
So,
are you bringing the kids?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know. You'd have to do a little research. I only would know the adult stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I never took my kids to Charlotte. Took them to Savannah, which was probly
I went to Savannah like a year and a half ago, and I really liked it, but not with the kids.
Yeah.
So.
The NFL season's over. I was trying to find stories all throughout the year to talk about every day. No, there's really nothing going on. But the one big controversy, and it keeps coming back to, is they changed the rules. What's this? What's that? It's easy to say things like they should put a tracker in the ball, and they do have it, right? Because you can get a lot of stats already. I think Next Gen Stats is tracking the football to where it is. But in terms of locating, but that still doesn't tell you if somebody's knee is down.
Correct.
And do we not a little bit? I mean, I know this sounds counterintuitive to everybody, but don't we like bitching about it? Don't we like seeing that they got it wrong? And if they had only seen, I mean, I think there's an element of fandom that is that. I really do.
You got to blame somebody.
I just think there's an element of fandom that's that. And when you watch that game, it is so fast. I don't know how you guys see anything. Who the hell could tell where he was? You know what I'm saying? Like in real life. So I guess if we had the technology, but even there, who would know when the knee's down? What, you start putting things in running backs' knees and quarterbacks?
No,
it's crazy.
I just think the average fan just doesn't understand that I could be 4 feet away from somebody, and that's not my responsibility looking at that. I'm looking at something else. So the average fan just doesn't understand that every official on the field their eyes are already set to look at something, not where the ball is. So not only that, but there's always angles. We always see the instant replay on TV. I could be standing right behind a guy. I'm not going to see that. But if the camera's in front of the guy, the camera's going to see that. So fans just got to know between the angles and the correct mechanics that officials have to do. That's where the controversies.
Yeah. It's interesting. I didn't realize that you are your job is to focus here,
Mhm.
and something that happens within your purview, not necessarily your call.
Not necessarily my call.
Yeah. Wow. See, now that's something that I never knew.
There you go.
'Cause
See, the average people, they got to know this.
Well, we would, and we'd start bitching. The guy was right there. How does he not call it? I could see it from here. What the fuck's wrong with that guy?
Absolutely.
Right? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you hear a lot of the complaints from the stands when you're doing a game?
So when I was doing high school, my position, I was on the sideline a little bit. So I would get flack from the fans or the coaches or the players. But I'd say the last decade, I've been in the middle of the field. So I don't really hear too much bullshit.
Okay. Did you ever say anything to them?
Oh, the players? Oh, off air? No, we're on air. I've said stuff to the players.
Well, no, here's why I say that. My son played basketball, and a guy I know was reffing one of their games, and all of a sudden he stopped, and he's like, he threatened to throw an opposing fan out because they were getting loud. They were chirping. I couldn't hear him from where I was, but that guy had just had it that day.
I've never done that, but I did toss a player out of the game because he called me racist. So I did throw my flag. So I took his ass out of the game.
I have who could even tell?
You don't.
I mean, honest to God, and I know this is going to sound weird.
Right.
You could look. You can't tell when you're reffing who's what color a lot of times because they're covered up, helmets on. You're just looking at the play. You're just looking at the uniform.
Yeah, I remember it. He just got up. He said, "You didn't call that penalty because you're a fucking racist." And
Whoa!
Said, well, here you go, and have a good one. And then the coach wanted an explanation. Told him, bada bing, bada boom.
Didn't you get into it with the coach this year?
No, I haven't gotten to a coach. The only thing I've really gotten into a coach was a mistake. I was deathly sick maybe 2-3 years ago, and I didn't want to go to a game, and I was trying to find a replacement. I did a reply all.
Oh,
so I replied to like 90 people telling them that I had no one to watch my dog and I was sick and everything else. So for the whole year, everybody was just making fun of me. I show up and this varsity coach is laughing. Oh, I heard you were sick and nobody was watching your dog. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, those reply alls can be brutal. Why do you do this? Because it seems thankless.
I would say I started when I was 22, 21, and it was all from an ad in the paper. I never played football.
You never played?
I never played. I went to Aquinas. I was big. I was sloppy. I thought I was a running back at 300 pounds.
How tall are you?
6'2".
You were 300 pounds at 6'2"?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
did you play?
I played recreation. And
no, but
flag.
I mean, did they ever try to get you to play? I guess was my question.
No.
Because Aquinas had a good football team for
they
years.
Won states 2 out of the 4 years I was there.
Really?
Oh yeah. It was one of the. So that was one of the biggest regrets of my life. I never played because I'm athletic and I had the ability. So no, I just saw an ad in the paper. Always loved the game of football. I figured I'd give it a whirl and just kind of rode with it.
So when you answer the ad, training that you have to go through, all that kind of stuff, what do they do there?
Yeah. So in the summertime, it's about a 6 to 10 week program, once a night, twice a night for rookies. About 2 hours of class. You go through mechanics, you go through rules, you get test questions. On field time. I know back in the day, we had a lot more officials, so you didn't go straight to varsity. You would do JV and freshman your first 2-3 years.
Yeah.
But with the shortage of officials, you have first year guys going out.
But you don't do high school anymore.
No, I stopped doing high school.
You're college.
About 6-7 years ago.
How did you get the college gig?
College gig, they kind of have some kind of recruitment. You got to have somebody looking out for you. Somebody recommended my name. I had an interview and started doing college, and here we are.
To say this, every level
Yes.
that we talk about in football
Right.
is that much faster. You watch D1 games, and they look really, really fast. You go to the NFL, and those guys are saying, "Oh my God."
That's a good point. So, like, one of the reasons why I quit high school is, no offense to the 2 schools, but I had 2 country schools. I don't know, Batavia, Leroy. And the night before I was at Cornell and it was sprint football. So everybody was 180 pounds.
Yeah.
And they're flying all over the field.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a high school game the next day and it's just slow as molasses. And I'm like, what am I doing? I don't want to do this anymore. It's not fun. So that was my last season. And yeah. But yeah, you can definitely tell the speed of the game. I don't think there's a huge difference. I've done a couple Syracuse practices, a couple UB
You
practices.
have?
Yeah.
And so those are D1 guys.
Yeah, just practices and scrimmages. But
Do you want to be a D1 ref?
at one point I did. But the time commitment and the steps for me to go, I don't think I have an interest anymore.
Because there's a couple guys, I think, in the area that do it. And I once interviewed in North Carolina in the Triad area, and Wake Forest was down there, and I was on a flight with a guy from Rochester who was a D1 basketball ref.
Yep.
And I'm like, damn, dude.
There's probably, I don't know, I would say 6 to 10 guys in a 70-mile radius who are D1 NFL officials around here.
They are.
Or D1.
D1 officials. Yeah. Basketball. I mean, football.
Football.
You really don't want to? I think
there was a time. So in my organization, our next step was usually the MAC conference.
Okay. Yep.
But now I think our next step is the Missouri Valley.
Ugh.
So I mean,
that's a lot of
You would
traveling.
have to travel.
North Dakota.
Yeah,
Yeah.
North Dakota. You're traveling.
You pay for your travel.
You pay for your travel. You're not making a ton of scratch. So the next step up for
Wait,
me,
you have to pay for your travel, dude?
for the little D1 divisions.
Yeah. What about D3?
D3? Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm
You're
paying
paying.
my own gas money and driving down the road.
But playoffs, he gets
Extra.
like hotel.
Yeah, the playoff,
and
they put
stuff,
us up in a
things like
hotel and
that.
paid for our mileage. So
Okay.
that wasn't too bad.
But if he was D1, you pay for your flights, you pay for your hotel and everything. So if you're getting $1,200 a game, you may really end up bringing home $100 if your flights and your hotel
Oh my
are
God.
expensive.
Yeah.
I know a couple officials, they've started and they just moved up to the Missouri Valley. They've done, 2-3 years and they're breaking even or losing money.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how about like the NFL? Because these guys are going to age out.
Right.
So, I mean, some of them look, I don't even know how. I saw one guy, it's such a big gut. You're seeing more and more in shape refs.
Right.
Right. You are seeing that.
Mhm.
There's still the others on the fringe. But I would go, there are some full-time refs.
I want to say all NFL is full time at this point.
It is?
I think so.
Okay, that's interesting because I was wondering about that. But they're paying. I thought these guys were making like $100,000 for the season.
The NFL officials are
Yeah.
they're making good money.
Yeah.
I would say 6 figures easy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think Joe needs to go.
I mean, it would be nice. I worked with I did a playoff game this year, and four of the guys on the crew were being looked at by D1 conferences and whatnot. I could tell the difference. I mean, if you were to ask me 3 years ago, I wanted it 100%, but just hearing the stories and everything else, it's like, I know I have the ability. It's just, I don't know if I have it anymore.
Yeah.
As far as like the passion and wanting to do it,
What about coaching?
I have zero interest in coaching.
Okay.
He tries to like coach the kids.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to
He's
ask.
like,
I'm
oh,
definitely a Phil Jackson.
He
I just
is
need
literally-
talent and
Yeah.
to coach that. So.
All
but
right.
he's more of a basketball coach.
Joe is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that. So at work, I tend to coach basketball. I played basketball and football. So those are my two sports. But I'll officiate anything, It's just nobody
Have
wants
you
to do it.
officiated basketball?
Because
that looks
at
thankful.
Work. Just at work.
That looks thankless to me. That one especially because they're right on top of you.
Right.
You can hear everything.
It's funny because Joe's now, both my boys play basketball, and Joe knows some refs like that are roughing Lucas's league. And they've been like, when are you going to start roughing here? He's like, no,
Yeah.
not going to do it.
Yeah, youth sports is terrible.
Yeah.
That is the hardest thing to officiate. And
Yeah, because you're calling a penalty probably every play.
well, no, you're not calling a penalty every play. That's what makes it so hard. So when it's crunch time, parents want to see a travel or an offside or anything like that. And it's like, I could have called that the entire game. I'm not going to call it the last minute just because it means something.
They're like
Right.
9 and 10-year-olds. They're letting them play
Yeah,
more so.
Right.
Than,
Get the experience to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, we'll take a moment. Joe brought something up, and we had somebody on the podcast on a regular basis for a little while who used to have suitors do this. What are you making a face for?
I'm wondering who, what?
Well, I'll tell you.
Okay.
And but I wanted to see because there is a new thing that sexually transmitted infections don't necessarily have to come from penetration. Yeah, it doesn't. No, not even. Not even that. We'll get to it right after this. This would be more 80s style, not your 2000 trivia style. What kind of questions do they ask at the 2000s trivia?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
But it was like Y2K trivia.
Y2K trivia, and it's sold out.
It's sold out. We have been on like this theme thing. And so when we saw 2000s trivia, we're like, yes, but we want Matt to do a doo-wop like night.
Who's Matt?
Matt Reese.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I was like, wait, who's Matt?
We're like into the like doo-wop era, listening to that music. We're like, how much fun would it be?
Are there doo-wop bands out anywhere?
We don't know. We're like doo-wop karaoke. Like if Matt could do like a doo-wop brunch, like, and I've talked to some of my friends at the gym, all like these 40-year-old women. They're like, that would be so much fun. Because he's doing those 2000s
Yeah, he
brunches.
is in the 90s, and they sell out.
Yes.
They all sell out.
I know.
Yeah. Huh. That's an interesting thing. I wouldn't think like 2000s trivia, but sure, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be like a trivia that I could actually win. Unlike fucking Kevin's Name That Tune that I never win. Closest to the pin that I'm like, just let me
I lost
out.
last night. I saw this article today about STIs, and I thought it was sort of interesting only because I remember when Stephanie would come in here, she was very adamant before being in a long-term relationship that whoever she was going to be with had to be tested.
Mm-hmm.
And then one guy invited her to go away, and just before they were about to take off, he never got the test done, and he started to ghost her. And, you know, I guess that's telling you something, right? So I saw this thing, and it says that you can get it from skin to skin contact. Certain STIs.
Which ones?
Well, they're saying oral sex, even shared personal items like razors or needles, can also spread infections. Syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and herpes are among the STIs that can be transmitted through non-penetrative means.
Okay.
Syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and herpes.
Is it sharing like a razor to like shave your pubes?
I wonder if it's sharing, like, I'll say this. I wonder if, let's say you grab his razor to shave your legs. Don't tell him, but it was right there. It's just easier. You're in a rush. And he comes in later and shaves his face and nicks it.
Oh,
and if there was
God.
something on you, there it is. You know what I mean?
God.
And you wouldn't even know it. Potentially, I think there's a lot of people who don't even know they have an STI.
Oh, I believe that.
I think there's some that people just they're just carriers.
Yeah.
They don't even. And
Oh, never mind.
well,
You're gonna tell your story.
Oh, should I tell my story?
Tell your story.
I'll tell a story.
I wasn't
It's
trying.
fine.
I was not
It's
searching
fine.
for something, Joe. You don't have to do it, buddy.
No, it's
You totally used the keyword carrier, so I have to tell my story. I was on a couch taking a nap. This is probably 8-9 years ago, and I woke up from a text message from a girl who told me that she just had her annual checkup, and I said, okay, blah blah blah. So I'm reading this text message, and it said that she tested hot for chlamydia. Now this is the Friday before Easter, so I get this text message. I'm supposed to be at work in an hour. 26 minutes later, I'm at urgent care. And the doctor goes, "What brings you here?" I go, "This text message right here." Doctor starts laughing his ass off. He goes, "Usually for men, I would give you the test. But at this point, I kind of believe you probably have it." So he just came back with 2 giant ass blue pills. He said, "I got your Easter eggs for you." Told me to wrap it up. And that was the day.
So
She was a carrier. She had no clue.
She was a carrier.
She had no
had
symptoms.
no clue.
She had nothing.
So he's saying that you. So what? It was chlamydia.
It was
Well, I
chlamydia.
don't know anything about these things enough. I would
No?
love to get an expert on to talk about this because there's a way I'm going to take this conversation in a second. But my curiosity is,
Oh, I had a
is-
symptom. Oh, I had a symptom.
are there? Oh, no, but is it always? You know how like herpes is always with you? Like herpes
yeah,
can lay
yeah.
dormant. It's always. Is that the same with chlamydia?
From
Can
what
a
I
f-
understand, chlamydia was like a cold.
Okay, okay.
Your dick has
All
a
right, so
cold.
you were
Get
sneezing
some
out
pills.
your
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah. Did it burn?
It did.
Oh,
It did. That was
buddy.
my symptom. That's
Yeah.
why he was
I
like,
think
you know what?
chlamydia and gonorrhea are the two that like you can get over.
You can
Like,
get
it's
out of it.
literally
Yeah.
like you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello?
never.
Hello?
Oh, we're gonna hear something over here.
No, I was with my college friends. You were there
Right.
this past weekend. And we were like, how did we all escape
Well-
college without anything?
Okay.
Like, and my one friend goes, well, I did have a baby. I was like, yeah, but
Yeah, you won the prize.
none of us, we never got anything.
I almost wondered, like, with the fact that this is out now, right? We could just have it sexually transmitted. You could have your partner cheating on you, use his razor or her razor. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
God, yeah.
are ways that shit can happen. The chlamydia one sounds nasty to me. And I
Mhm.
remember looking at picture books when I was a kid of, chlamydia. They show you the worst thing in the world, look like leprosy,
Yeah.
a piece of dicks on the floor. I don't know. But this is, I wonder if they need to teach sex ed differently.
I mean, I think that when you're so young and you're learning about it, you sort of laugh it off.
Yeah. Because it's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yes.
And it's something that your parents probably never talked to you about. So it's a
Yeah.
little uncomfortable. And then you think, again, it's never going to happen to me,
Mhm.
right? It's never going to happen to me.
I mean, I know someone, an older person actually.
By the way, Joe, I'm sorry to interrupt. Was that a group text you received?
Oh no.
Hey, I have chlamydia.
That would be funny.
25 plus people at the top.
Wow.
Hey, at urgent care, you here because of the Karen too.
Yeah.
Sharing
I'm
his
sorry.
laughing stories.
I wanted to see, after I read this, I go, okay, I need to know stats on
like
contraceptives.
skin to
No, contraception use. Because the skin to skin thing is scary. I still think it's going to be rare.
Yeah,
I think most people who are getting STIs are getting it from oral sex or some kind of penetration. Oral sex or sex. Right?
I do know someone who's older who has herpes because their husband, ex-husband, cheated on them.
Mm.
Got it? never told this person. And
But wait, do we know that he got it from that? Because again, I think some of these things I think can lay dormant in you. Like it could have been someone like Joe who didn't know she had it, and then she gives it to you, and you go another 10 years, and then all of a sudden you're accused of cheating, and he didn't.
Yeah.
But did he admit to cheating?
I mean, yes, they got divorced.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. So I went through and I wanted to see what specific statistics are for people like 25, because there's more people, I think, now we're living longer, especially women. We hear about one of the hottest spots for STIs is the Villages in Florida, right? I mean, right? Because people, don't they have the different loofahs and stuff?
My friend was just telling me her parents are going to buy a place down there.
So they did. I was looking through a 2017 CDC report. Now we're going back, believe it or not, it's close to 10 years, right? Or 7 years. Found that among unmarried men, ages 35 to 44, okay? Unmarried guys. Who had sexual intercourse in the past 3 months, 25.8% reported using a condom during their last sexual encounter. Only 25.8%. Well, because I just don't think, I swear to God, I don't think.
As you get older, you think, oh, I escaped my college years. I escaped my young years.
Yes.
I'm fine.
And I think that's where we're seeing the greater STI stuff.
But then,
because that's it. And I think even women, right? You know, I mean, I probably never told somebody, hey, you got to put a condom on. I'm not looking. Why are we all laughing? What did I do? Did something?
Are you going to go first?
Okay.
You can go first.
Yeah, you can go first.
All right.
You want to go at the same time?
1, 2, 3, do it.
I don't believe in condoms. You don't believe in them either?
I'm not a condom.
There you go.
Fan.
Okay,
There
right,
you go.
because they don't feel as good.
No. I mean, I did use them.
Yes.
In
Well, this is
between
what
my
I'm
divorce,
saying.
But like, if I was sleeping with the same person consistently, fuck no.
Oh, okay.
I didn't make them go tested.
Right. And you didn't make them go get tested. Okay. So these figures suggest that condom use decreases as men age.
Yeah.
Particularly among those in committed relationships, right? Even if they're not married, but committed. So then I wanted to see women over 25. And a lot of the data for this stuff is really limited. You can't really find it. I mean, I'm not a research expert, but you know, there are tools we can all use now. So they have data from 2017 to 2019 indicates that 65.3% of women in the United States ages 15 to 49 were using contraception, which I believe is probably true. And I guarantee. And
Contraceptives?
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm not saying.
Okay.
But we could throw a condom into contraception for preventing pregnancy, but.
Is birth control considered a contraceptive?
Yes. So there's two things that I took away from this. One, the majority of this falls on a woman. And I don't think it's ever discussed. It just does. Yeah. And I think for guys, I don't like a condom. Yeah, I don't like the way it feels either. Don't worry about it. And so what else is there for a dude right now? I mean, they haven't come up with a pill yet, right? Or anything. Okay. So therefore it falls on the woman, and that seems a little bit unfair if you think about it. But according to contraceptive use, approximately 65.3% of women in those age groups, 21% of women aged 18 to 94.
What?
Report 94. 94.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a relative of Laura's from way back. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Great grandmother still howling at the moon. Yeah, it does say 18 to 94 reported using a condom during the most recent vaginal intercourse.
Wow.
But that's 21%.
Yeah.
That's still low. It's still low. And so most of it is, I mean, the only thing I just wonder, because, and then you got to think about this too. Now, there are things that are done, and I'm not so sure they're marketed toward kids your boy's age, or maybe a little bit older than your boys, and about my son's age or slightly younger than him.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be these vaccines, right?
HPV?
Yeah. And I'm not sure about them, but the HPV usually doesn't, guys can be carriers and it doesn't really affect them, but it does affect women. It can cause cancer.
It's so common.
HPV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They say like 80% of people.
I don't know if it's as high as 80.
I was going to
Oh,
go
I-
way
I
higher.
really-
I was starting to think 85.
Oh, I was
in
gonna
my
say,
head.
yeah.
I'm
No,
going,
It's
I
a
was
high
really
percentage.
thinking it was like 80%. They said.
I thought it was higher than that. No,
Yeah.
I'm guessing, but yes. So, I mean, do you think that that's a good idea or not? I always worry like another vaccine, does it really work? What are we doing here? I'm not sure.
I trust science.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, the thing is like down the line, who knows when you're 55 years old and kicking back in the villages and all of a sudden your plumbing is falling out because you got, because you didn't use stuff in the past. It's just interesting to me and scary.
But I do think that, like, yeah, there should be. You should go to bars and have condoms out, like, because I don't think people always go out and they're prepared.
I thought this area was one of the highest for STDs in the country.
I do believe I've heard
STIs.
that.
Yeah. Because I know that.
I'm really fucking lucky.
Who's willing to take a gamble tonight?
Oh man.
Yeah, it's coming up tonight.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah. I just figure everybody's a walking petri dish and you're gonna take your chances. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but when you're
When you're jerking.
Drunk.
Oh, I thought
no.
you were
You don't always make the best
No, of course you
decisions.
don't make good decisions when you're drunk.
Yeah,
No, your inhibitions are gone.
I know.
Wake up next to people that you would never even probably have a conversation with. It's like, whoa. Not that I would know anything about that. I've never been there. I'm just saying that's the yeah. So you can see, I think chlamydia, Mississippi leads with chlamydia. How about Georgia leads with HIV?
Well, I won't be fucking in Georgia.
No, but I think
Like, whoa, don't worry. The only person you're fucking is me. Now. You don't have to-
but
Whoa.
I think the Georgia stuff, I wonder sometimes if there is a lot of down low too.
Oh,
You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that.
Well, who did a joke recently somewhere, an award show or something? Goes, oh, there's a lot of gay men here tonight with their wives. You know what I mean? Like it's on the DL, and that's the stuff. Look, years ago, I did something.
Yeah, because if you're having, two gay men, you're not really worried about getting pregnant.
No,
Like, so,
but you
yeah.
should be worried about other things.
You should.
Potentially.
Yeah.
And anybody should be, is my point. But here's something that I did on the radio many, many years ago. And it was something when I looked back on it, it always made me feel pretty bad for the person. We had heard that people would go to area parks, and if they backed in and they sat in their car, they were looking for a hookup. And it was same-sex hookup, guys. So we decided that we wanted to see who was the hottest member of the morning show. And we went out and we timed who got hit on first.
Oh,
Right?
How many hours did it take?
It didn't. It was quick for some people. So the interesting thing was there was one guy who had backed in, and an older gentleman, just looked like the happy grandpa. He comes and he's like, hey, because he was backed in. And this guy backs in next to him and he goes, hey, how's it going? He goes, hey. And he's like, you want to take a walk in the woods? Because that's what they would do. They would take a walk on these back paths. You want to take a walk in the woods? And the guy goes, nah, I'm just waiting for my wife. He goes, nah, I'm married. And the guy goes, holds up his hand. He goes, me too. He said, me too. And he goes, my wife's coming down with the dogs. We're going to walk through the park. He goes, oh, okay, no problem. Now, there was nothing rude about this at all.
Yeah.
The man was not aggressive or anything.
Yep.
But honest to God, when I thought about it, it made me, the only thing I can come up with is sad. And sad because this guy who was married was living a lie because society at that time was never going to accept this dude.
Mhm.
He did not appear, as we would say, whatever the stereotypical, sometimes you can spot it. Some people like to be flamboyant, and that's just them. That wasn't this guy, right? He was a little more, what we would say, like
Reserved.
a guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a guy. And he was on the down low. And you think about the shit, all the shit you could bring home.
Yeah.
You're just hooking up with some rando in the park. You know, they put on their best sweater that day, and you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like their jeans were pressed. I don't know. They look neat. How did I? Yeah, you can't tell. And I go, that's the stuff that I think is the most scary. And it made me feel terrible for this guy because I go, you know, he's lived his entire life, never fully satisfied. Like, don't tell me that somewhere along the line, his wife could pick up on something was missing. But you know, we're in a time where you stayed together, you had kids, you did this thing. And now here you are, and the journey's almost over, and you're fucking some guy behind a bush in a park to be who you really are. I mean, I don't mean to put it that bluntly, but I'm putting it that bluntly. I honestly got to go, God, man, we fuck people up with these rules. Be who you want to be because it isn't that long. And who's getting hurt? Yeah, no, I mean, yes, in this situation, the current situation, yes, a lot of people are getting hurt. The wife, the kids, if they find out what's going to go on, all the psychological shit. But if that guy could just be authentically himself, who's getting hurt?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody is not fucking up my life. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a great story if all of a sudden, hey, I was in the park and I saw
this
Mr. Morgan down there. He was behind a bush coming out, pulling up his pants. Here comes another guy. They're high-fiving. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like,
this story is
what?
Well,
what? How does this happen today? Like 3 or 4 times you guys go, oh yeah, you want to tell the story? I'll tell the story.
Oh, this has nothing to do with
No, I know. No, but I'm
just the story.
So my ex-husband,
yeah,
his girlfriend that he's been with for 3 years,
yeah,
her ex came out as gay.
Her ex
had 2 kids, and he had a boyfriend who lived in Brazil who was like a lot younger than him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a super, super nice guy. I've met him.
I'm sure he is
numerous times.
But
it's
was
really
that
sad.
relationship going on? There are people who we know have gotten married, went by the societal things, suppressed the urge, and then one point go, maybe they made out with somebody, didn't go that far, but they're like, I can't live this way. It's a lie to you. It's a lie to me. We're never going to be, you know.
I've never like really asked
Yeah.
details because I don't want him to feel like I'm judging or her, but like I just know that
you got a way of getting it out, Laura. Come on.
No, I know, but I also I am going to say like I respect their privacy, but I know that
as you just told the whole story.
Well,
we don't know who they are. Oh wait,
actually, I'm not saying their names. But I know that he came out and said, I'm gay and I have a boyfriend, and that was the end of their marriage. Like he's still with the guy, actually. Like I've talked to him about going to visit his boyfriend and stuff.
The guy still lives in Brazil?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. So
better get him here legally. So what does he do? He has
they fly to visit each other.
Ugh.
You know?
My God. Must be worn out by the time he goes back. I would think it's a very busy weekend. Yeah, because you would think that you'd want someone closer that's a little more available. I would assume. Maybe not.
No idea.
Maybe that's a nice thing.
Or whatever.
That's a nice thing. You know, you've been married for a couple of years. You did that whole routine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Space.
Yeah.
So when I started dating Joe, he's like, I have a hard schedule. I work like 2 to 9. And I was like,
perfect.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
I will. Like, I was like, that gives me my me time. I don't have to like cater to you most nights. Like,
that's it is. Yes, it is an interesting thing like that. I had a friend, Bobby Slayton, who's been on the podcast, and Bobby used to do a whole joke about, how jealous he was of gay guys. Because he's like, come on, you're hanging out with another dude, right? After the act's done, you want to watch the ball game. Hey, you watch the ball game together. It's awesome. No, you're not buying that show?
I'm not going to buy that one.
Not buying that?
I mean,
Bobby did this whole thing
about,
like, he would go on and on. It was really funny the way he presented it. He's like, I don't have to cuddle. There's no cuddling afterwards. I don't have to hold you. I don't have to. And I'm going,
Renee and I joke that we used to wish we would be lesbians together. We're like, our house would be so clean. Like we would both be on top of shit. Like, one of us would always be.
Don't you need a little bit of the opposite somewhere along the line? Like a little bit?
Well, yeah.
Somebody who's a little bit different, slightly?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
I preferred man.
I know. I can tell. I can tell. But she wants 2 men once in a while. No, No, I'm just saying that was the fantasy.
No, I don't
Wasn't that the
know.
fantasy?
No, the
No,
fantasy
no,
is like
no.
people watching.
Oh,
us.
watching.
Yeah.
Watching. Yes.
I said he has
Why
to
don't you-
tell me to shut the window
Okay.
sometimes.
Fringe Fest next year.
Absolutely not.
What are you talking about?
Absolutely.
It'll be an art thing. We put you down at like this. What's that square in downtown?
Innovative
Square. We put you there, and then people get to watch.
And the Spiegel tent.
Well, what
if
we
you
could
can dress
do-
me up as a polar bear. and
What
I'll
if we
dress as a
did?
polar bear.
What if we did like the two-way glass?
Oh,
So you
That's my
can't see
fantasy.
out. You can't see out, but everybody else
what's
can
my
see
fantasy,
in.
Jeff?
Eventually I'm going to come out of that door, and then everybody's going to.
No, the police have to get everybody
Okay.
away, and then. But that night you'd be at dinner, and all of a sudden a couple free drinks show up. I mean, hey, that dude put on a show today. Best Fringe Fest ever.
No, I'll pass on that.
Okay. Just checking. I
Yeah.
just thought it would be just checking.
Keep your options open, babe.
All right, where's trivia tonight?
Bill Grace.
Ooh, all right.
No.
The Iceplex? No.
No, the one now near Seabrace.
Oh.
Whole bunch of burn people.
Okay. Burn people going to
Well, go drink beer, have burgers, and then be at the gym in the morning.
see, that's great. Burn it off. Yeah, I got to get that discipline. Joe, thank you for coming in and playing.
Thank you.
He was
guys.
great. The NFL stuff was great. Your story about the carrier was fantastic. You know, the group text you received about it. And Laura, you never disappoint ever. I'm Bill Moran. We'll see you next week.
Well, since I left California, baby, things have gotten worse. Seems a land of opportunity for me is just a curse. Tell that judge he make us feel. I'm tired of like the